Resurgence solo quads. Seems to be the only way I have fun on this game anymore. What with ranked being full of DDoSers and cheaters, and the way solos plays is just so slow that I find I'm killing the sweats and dying to the bots, just sat in a corner twiddling their buttholes. With the player base dropping off as drastically as it has, there isn't that many bots left in this game. It's all sweaty Timmies, TikTokers, TCVers, which I'm guilty of being one of those. But it means the high kill gameplays are becoming more and more few and far between. I remember back in the good old days of Ashika, Vondale, Fortune's Keep, I was dropping 30 bombs most games. Now I'm struggling to get past 20. I don't know if it's the amount of players in the game or just how sweaty it is. Whatever the reason, I've had to really lock in with these gameplays. And I'm going to give you a walkthrough from start to finish of my thought process, how I get 24 elims in solo quads. Get your pen and paper ready to take some notes as I destroy this lobby and get the win. If you found this video useful, please drop a sub, it would help me out massively. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. The first thing to look at the start of each game is the map. The first zone circle and positioning of contracts tells you a story about how the players will rotate. Contract heavy areas are one to avoid if you're playing solo quads because there's likely to be multiple teams dropping onto these areas to grab the contracts. And as you're solo, you want to minimize engagements where you'll be fighting multiple teams at once as much as possible. The center of the zone is roughly where each next zone will pull. So as you can see here, the center is around headquarters, factory, and living quarters. So I know this is likely where endgame is going to be, and my rotations throughout the game are made based on this knowledge. For this drop, I chose to land away from the circle. This isn't always the play, because if you get caught fighting whilst the zone closes, you may be forced out of cover being held by an enemy. In this instance, Bio isn't too far from the zone, and as there was no contracts in or on that building, I knew the chances of fighting enemies before I had the chance to loot up was low. And from Bio, you have multiple ways of rotating through the map. You can take the wide route under Chemical Engineering Buy Station and go straight to Harbour, go through Chemical Engineering and take the high ground on Harbour, or go through Industries and from there rotate to the buy station here, or use the walls at Prison's Courtyard to get into the middle of the map. Another reason I like the Bio drop is if you need to change your rotation strategy based on where other teams are, you can quickly move from Industries to Chemical Engineering or vice versa using the tunnel that links them, as you'll see me do later in this game. And also enjoy the stream, of course, goes without saying, we always entertain over here. On the Quietly channel, we're going to go Bio. With a hopefully quiet drop, we need to prioritise looting up so that we can get our loadout as soon as possible. That's why I land through this window, because it's got more loot than the roof and also a lot of cover to use if anyone surprises us by dropping in. I don't think anyone landed here. Means we gotta loot up real quick. Get loaded. Oh, someone's landing. There you heard a guy dropping in with his parachute. We don't know where he is, so we want to get some good guns so we're ready for a fight. Push the roof, clear all the angles one by one, and loot up. Gotta be below me, though. Going for high kill gameplays means you need to try and get kills wherever they may appear. That's why I try and hit this snipe on a guy on prison roof. If I can get it down, maybe I can get a kill early doors. It wasn't to be, but we don't want to spend too much time dwelling on people far away when we know someone has dropped in nearby. Just because we know someone's nearby doesn't mean we need to sit still and hold a corner. We're hunting them, not the other way around. I have no idea what this guy was doing. He must have been in the menu or something. But anyway, a kill's a kill and we move on. What was he doing? Weird. Copious amount of cheese right now, even though it fucks up my sleep. Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Get that comfort eating going. Cheaters and DDoS. Yeah. We just heard one set of footsteps coming in the door downstairs, so we know he's either on the bottom floor or he's coming up the staircase to where his teammate just died. Another audio cue that sounded like he landed somewhere at Industries, so we head that direction to get the kill. Now I threw a loadout here because we want to make sure our loadout is ready to get, just in case we die, we can come back to it. First of all, I checked this room because I thought there was someone at Industries. Now the coast is clear, we grab our loadout and we hyper-focus this dude that just dropped in. Unfortunately, he got a pretty good weapon off the drop, so that's lucky for him. We back off and find a new angle. I don't care how good you are, you ain't winning a 1v4. Holy 4-stack. So we back off and find a chokehold that we can try and pick them off one by one. Throw a gas grenade so that they can't aim back at us. And because I know he's weak, we throw the impact grenade to get the down. I was a bit greedy here to push for the thirst, but I trusted myself to get out there if I needed to. Gas grenades are so OP, I highly recommend running them. That's enough for me. I'm not rechalling that. Oh my god. Once we got that kill, there's no way we're going back to that angle. We can leave them to it. That's a whole team that just got their loadout. I don't think they'll fix it this season, Crank, I'll be honest. I think they're going to put all their effort into... Now, the reason that I'm still running around looting is because we've only got 3k and 2 plates. Ideally, we want a full stack of plates and at least 6k to get ourselves a UAV. Got quite lucky finding one out of a box here. So I'll pop it straight away and a counter UAV so that if I shoot, I can't be seen on the map. Get a ping that there's a guy on the roof, so we push that. Fortunately, he's AFK. What's with the AFK is? Now, because I had the counter UAV up, he didn't know that I was on the roof, so he's dropped in close. We can get the push, get a quick kill, and that's an easy wipe. Now, again, we get some audio cues about people dropping in, so we head to the location of the noise to see if we can get some picks. Focusing those players that have just dropped in is so key because you know that they can't shoot back. All they've got is a pistol and 2 plates. Now, this dude made the smart play to drop onto the water tower. It's very hard to shoot up from below. So we ignore him for now because we got a ping on our radar that there was someone at Industries. We don't know how kitted up this guy is, so we'd like to take him out in case he comes up behind us whilst we're fighting the guy on the tower. Now that that potential problem is dealt with, we can focus back on the people that are landing in trying to get that loadout. For real, Crank, for real. In my opinion, recon drones are criminally underused. You can park them in the air and it will ping players whilst you can still run around and do your thing. That airstrike wiped everyone out, but I could confirm that thanks to the recon drone not tagging anyone. We're going to hang around here because there's still a loadout drop, so that means still potential people dropping in for easy kills. Lo and behold, 2 dudes drop in and they get fried immediately. Push under the water tower so the guy that's sitting up there can't get an angle on us. Where's this other dude? Oh. I'm trying to scope it out to see where he is, and I just can't find him. Can you see him here? Because I couldn't. I can't see him. Jiggle peek the corner so that if he gets a shot on us, he can't get the follow-up shots. We can go either way from here. Where is he? After realising he's not on the tower, I push over to the loadout because I'm sure that's what he was trying to get to. After killing this dude, I got the ping on my radar telling me where his teammates were. So we hyper-focused that to try and push them out whilst they're on the back foot. A bit of a spanner in the works here as someone drops in from where we just were and we're out in open cover. So we back off to take him out as he's on his own. Here's another example of why gas grenades are so OP. Downed him with a gas grenade? Okay. Not only do they hinder people's movement and stop them aiming down sight, but it also deals tick damage. I was able to get a down on him without even having to shoot. Still going for loadout. You can tell by the confusion in my voice there that this was the wrong play to make, and I don't know why they did it. Yes, your loadout's there, and you can probably get out of the zone in time, but you know that I'm there shooting you. Just because your loadout's there doesn't mean you should go for it. We don't need to push for the kill, because the zone will do that job for us. No, it seems like it was too late. Oh my god. This is the second time in 30 seconds that this guy has got me one shot. So we know he's got gunny. We don't want to be approaching this fight with no cover, so we duck out and reposition. That's a sign. Now here I know that there's a team nearby, but I can't quite work out where they are from the audio. So I throw a couple of gas grenades to try and pinpoint which level they're on. The second gas grenade got some chokes there, so I know they're down low. So I push from a different angle to try and get some kills. Now I'm not perfect, and I made a crucial mistake here. I got greedy. Yes, they were in a chokehold with nowhere to run, but it was a 3v1, and if they all peeked me at the same time, I was dead. Had I thrown a gas grenade or an impact grenade just to level the playing field a little more, I could have come out with some kills there, but I just chose to hard aim down sight, and it meant that they could rotate who was challenging me whilst the others plated up again. That was not a good play from me there. This next kill I get is based entirely on the audio cues. I highly recommend, if you play on PC, using the Art is War audio. As he says himself, it's polishing a turd. It won't be perfect, but it gives you some good indicators. But it's so much better than the base audio and just makes that footsteps a little bit clearer. Weirdo. This guy seemed in a hurry to get out of the tunnel, so we sweep it just to make sure he wasn't being chased by someone else. Here I'm sweeping my surroundings, looking for any intel that will show me where players are, but making sure I'm not standing still so it's hard for someone to snipe me that I've not noticed yet. With no one in sight, we push forwards using the knife, clearing the open ground we're in as quickly as possible. Now the buildings at headquarters are notoriously hard to push, and for all I know there's a whole team sitting in there. Had this been earlier in the game, I might have been cheeky and tried to push that, but with Resurgence ending in less than 30 seconds, it's not worth me dying. We're on 15 kills, and we're getting close to the end zone. We want to prioritise our position here. I know that this area is filled with enemies, so I'm rotating as carefully as I can. So I'm hugging the edge of zone and then prioritising cover and high ground to make my rotations. The shots being fired and the red dots on my minimap tell me that there's at least 2 teams here. And whilst I'm looking for an easy kill, it's just not possible in this situation. The zone is going to push me away from this high spot that I'm on, so I need to find a better place of cover that I'm not forced out of against my will. Dude, I think we just got to play zone here. You'll see I'm looking everywhere, scanning my surroundings, trying to see if there's any enemies. I don't want to push somewhere and get surprised by a team sat in a corner. I really want to use the buy station, but I know that that big green building is a camper's paradise. So I'm doubly cautious before hitting the buy station. With the coast being clear nearby, we hit that buy station and grab a UAV to use in the end zone. Now I rotate into zone using cover as much as possible. Now that we have high ground at end zone, we can use the cover we've got to try and get some pics of people rotating in that have been forced to move because of the storm. Excite me. Once things get hot, I dip out. Lose that high ground, but only for a short space of time. We'll work our way back up there once those guys have stopped focusing us. I'm constantly looting because you never know when you can find a kill streak or something useful like this scrambler. I put the scrambler down so that I can camp on a roof in end zone and not be detected on anyone's UAV. I was hoping for a kill streak. We've got a good position there. At this point in time, people can still play on factory roof, so I'm being extra cautious of not overexposing myself to them. Luckily for me, there's no one on the roof, but there is a dude chilling on one of the walkways. That's an easy kill for us, but we don't overcommit once we've got that kill. Get the intel of where the players are before we make our next move. Notice here how a guy comes out into open ground so we try and get the kill, but as soon as we see his teammates we back off. Once there's multiple people shooting at you, that's not a gunfight you're likely to win. You'll notice from this point forwards I barely say a word. That's because I'm heavily relying on audio cues to tell me where these guys are. I don't want to overextend and expose myself to multiple people shooting me at once, because once I go down, that's game over. Even though I've got a self-revive, you know they're going to heavy push me real quick. I get it down here, but I prioritise plating up, making sure I'm back at full health in case someone else chows me. I do a quick check to see if this guy's self-reviving. As I can see he's not, I don't need to worry about him anymore. This next kill was nice and easy. I heard him coming up the ladder, and as my aim was already on him, I went for the full because I had full plates and I couldn't hear anyone else up any other ladders. Keeping a keen eye on the minimap, I noticed that the building I'm on will be out of zone soon, so I quickly transfer to the other building which is in zone. This guy gets the upper hand on me, so I use cover instead of trying to fight back, as he would have got the first few shots on me. He made the smart play to drop off there as he had no cover. At this point, it's a 2v1. The smart play here for them would be to wait underneath until I have to drop off because of the zone, and they get an easy kill on me because it's a 2v1. Instead, this ignoramus decides to push me up a ladder that I could clearly hear. Now, fair play to this dude for making the sacrifice play to buy his teammate back, but it is not the option he should have taken. This guy has full plates and his loadout, and he's buying someone back that will have 2 plates and no loadout. Now it just leaves this guy dropping in with a small zone and not many places to land. All we have to do is keep an eye on him and make sure we're ready for when he peaks. GG's, baby. That's how we do it. Come on. And that, chat, is how you win solo quads. Crikey, that team's sold by pushing me one by one. They should not have done that. Now, watching this video, it may seem easy, but we had a lot of luck going our way as well. Throughout that entire game, nobody was on the roof of prison, which meant rotating into the map was so easy for me and I could stand out in the open pressuring people. But that's the key thing to remember with Warzone. No matter how well you think you've played, there is always an element of luck that has been on your side. Equally, it can go against you and you can think you're doing everything right and still lose because there's something else going on out of your control. It's important to keep a level head, as infuriating as this game can get, because once you've lost your head, there's no way you're winning a game. This gameplay was the last match after a 4-hour stream. During that stream, I had many high kill games, but didn't get the win because I did something stupid or I got unlucky. As a 2.5 KD player, the best advice I can give you is learn from your mistakes and try not to get wound up. Easier said than done, I know, but it really is a good piece of advice. Like I said at the start, if you found this video useful, dropping a sub would be so massively appreciated. At the time of recording, we're on 225 subscriptions. That number has blown up since December when we were on half that. So I'm hugely thankful for the support that I'm getting with these videos. But we're striving for greatness here over on the Kitely channel, and we want to hit 500 subscribers before the end of March. So every sub really does count. Drop a comment if there's other useful tips you think people watching this video could benefit from. Make sure you leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.